Hello, freak bitches. I hated dealing with actors. I'd never been around actors. And that thing that we were talking about before, where people just like say things that they don't really mean because they think that you're supposed to say those things because there's like a pattern of behavior that you're supposed to. Yeah. Oh, I thought he was amazing in that film.
Yeah, no,
I thought he was excellent. I thought he had a lot to offer. I mean, there was a lot of that kind of nonsense out here where I was used to real people. I mean, I mean, for sure I was a flawed person. I mean, for sure I was rough and I didn't have good decorum, like the way I communicated. I was a rough guy. You know, I'd come from fighting and then went right into stand-up, and this is only a few years later I'm doing this. You know, I had my last fight in '89, so this is '94. I mean, this is just a few years after that. I was still very sketchy, you know, so I didn't belong. I felt like I didn't belong there. I felt like I couldn't be myself. Everybody was like reading the Hollywood Reporter and Variety on set. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys reading this shit for? Like, it's like this. It was just the whole thing to me was like this weird play that people were putting on where everybody was trying to pretend to be something so that they can get auditions. And I remember going on some auditions and dealing with some of those people, casting agents that had all this power over you. And they exhibited it, like they exerted it when you were in the room with them. They didn't communicate with you like you're a person and I'm a person. They communicated with you like, you want something from me. And I don't know if I'm going to give it to you. Let me see what you do. It was just the way they did it. It was just so shitty. It was gross. It was just,
it still is fucking gross.
Oh, it's gross. I mean, this is the thing that people have, the real problem that people have with this Harvey Weinstein situation is not just that the fact that he was a piece of shit to all these women. It's his position of power that he had over them, that he exerted. He got himself into this position and then used that position according to Whitney, like Whitney Cummings was talking to me about this. She's like, what you're hearing is all the women that said no to him. She's like, that guy fucked a ton of them.
Fucked a ton of them.
And it was part of the deals that he gave them.
They even went after one of the girls he was fucking. That girl from Donnie Brasco. And she did the movie with Gretchen Mol.
Yeah?
She did Rounders.
Oh, I remember her.
The blonde, cute thing. Now, if you watch Donnie Brasco, she's in Donnie Brasco. She ain't got a fucking line in that movie. Not a line.
Really?
She's an extra in that movie. She's Sonny Black's girlfriend. But when you see her in fucking whatever, she's got a bunch of lines now.
And it was because she was...
Fucking Howie. They just went after her a couple weeks ago. Gretchen Mol got her.
Who went after her?
Just, Angelina Jolie and the troops.
Oh, they're all saying that this is the reason.
The non-dick suckers. Listen, they all got to suck a dick eventually.
Pretty.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Look, I had heard that there was a lot of them that were actually very successful that fucked him. I mean, this was this guy's thing. It's fucked up and it's dark, but once that gets going and once that's what he does, how do you stop that train other than what they did?
They all knew. They all knew. And nobody opened their fucking mouth so you could suck my dick. A couple of them opened their mouth. A couple of them didn't. Yeah. They got swept under the carpet, and that's always going to happen. But I'd rather fucking, the rest of these, like Angelina, the rest of these people, listen, I'm over it, brother. I don't want to hear this shit no more. It's amazing. Like, just the bullshit that these people create in their worlds. And you're right. When you go to these casting things and you see these things, you see the fucking bullshit. It pours out of them, man.
Well, it's one of the reasons why the people in this town are so crazy. It's because they're insecure to begin with, right? The only reason why anybody becomes an actor, like why people want to be famous, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons why people want to be famous is because at some point in their life they didn't feel valuable. At some point in their life they felt discarded, they felt abused, they felt ignored, and they had this inescapable need for attention, this hole that cannot be filled. And that was the driving force that led them into acting, where they could be on that stage and everyone was looking at them, all eyes on them, while the microphone was on and the words were coming out of their mouth and they were in the play or in the movie or doing stand-up even. It's a lot of the same stuff that propelled you and I. Being ignored as a child, feeling like you were nothing. And then realizing that when you're on stage, man, then you're something. Like that person up there with the spotlight on them, that person's shining. That's a something person. That's not, I feel like a zero. But that thing that leads you to become an actor or want to become famous, is also like, it's so fucked up with acting because you have to get chosen. It's not like music or like stand-up where you can look at stand-up. All you have to do is you do open mic nights, you get funny, you build up an act, and then people come to see you. You build up a career, and the next thing you know, you become a successful comedian. That's what happened to you. That's what happened to me. But with acting, you have to get chosen. You don't have to work. Like if you do plays, nobody is ever gonna fucking see you ever. You're never gonna make it out of plays. Nobody's going to see famous play actors. Nobody gives a shit about them. You have to be in movies. You have to be in television. So you have to get chosen. So you have this whole chain of like, maybe I'll pick you, but I'm not sure. Are you the one? And so you have to develop this sort of personality that fits in with what they're looking for. You have to mold your sensibilities and your ideas. Like there's a lot of people that are in Hollywood that don't have opinions of their own. What they have is a series of opinions that they've adopted and adapted because they think it's going to lead them to be successful.